More than 800 meters into the sky, above a desert that once held nothing but sand, stands a structure that was never supposed to work. Building the tallest tower on Earth wasn't just ambitious, it was dangerously close to impossible. The Burj Khalifa wasn't just about height, it pushed engineering to a point where even small mistakes could be catastrophic. Yet somehow it survived and redefined what cities could become. To understand this, go back to when Dubai wasn't a global icon. In the early 2000s, with limited oil reserves, the city's future depended on one thing: the world's attention. The city needed a symbol, something so extreme and unforgettable that the entire world would have no choice but to pay attention. That's when the idea emerged. Build the tallest building ever constructed by humans, but not just slightly taller, dramatically taller. Something that would completely break the scale of everything that had come before it. The challenge? No one had ever built anything like it, and that's where things started to get complicated. As the height of a building increases, the fundamental rules of engineering begin to change. Wind forces grow exponentially. Structural loads become unpredictable. Even the ground beneath the building starts to behave differently. In Dubai, the ground itself was a primary concern. Unlike cities built on solid rock, Dubai's soil is mostly sand. Unstable, shifting. Not the kind of foundation you would naturally trust with a megastructure weighing hundreds of thousands of tons. So, before anything could rise into the sky, engineers had to solve what was happening underground. They drilled deep, over 50 meters into the earth, installing massive reinforced concrete piles. These weren't simple supports, they were anchors, holding the structure against forces that hadn't even been fully experienced yet. Because no one truly knew what would happen at that height. That uncertainty followed the project every single step of the way. As construction began, another massive issue emerged. The higher the tower rises, the more wind becomes the enemy. At extreme heights, wind doesn't just push against a surface, it twists, it vibrates, and it creates oscillations that can tear structures apart over time. Traditional rigid designs couldn't withstand these forces. Instead of fighting the wind directly, engineers designed a structure to confuse it. The Burj Khalifa's shape isn't random. Its Y-shaped floor plan and tapering form are specifically engineered to disrupt wind patterns. As the building rises, its structure changes at different intervals, preventing the wind from forming consistent vortices. The tower destabilizes the wind before the wind can destabilize the tower, a masterpiece of aerodynamic disruption. But even that wasn't the biggest problem. As the structure climbed higher and higher, new logistical nightmares kept appearing. One of the biggest challenges wasn't the design. It was simply getting materials to the top. At extreme heights, cranes reach their physical limits. Even lifting steel or concrete becomes an unpredictable task. Every meter higher meant slower progress, higher risk, and more complex coordination. Building the tallest tower on Earth isn't just about clever engineering. It's about fighting gravity every single day. Concrete, for example, behaves differently at extreme heights and pressures. Pumping at hundreds of meters into the air wasn't something that had been done at this scale before. And even when the concrete finally reached the top, a new challenge emerged. Concrete naturally shrinks and can crack as it cures. Small cracks at ground level are manageable, but at hundreds of meters high, even a tiny fissure could compromise the integrity of the entire structure. Engineers had to design a special concrete mix, monitor temperatures with extreme precision, control the curing process meticulously, and continuously check for microcracks. Every pour became a high-stakes operation. Dubai's extreme heat made the situation even worse. During the day, temperatures could exceed 40 degrees Celsius. That kind of heat can weaken concrete, causing it to set too quickly and lose its long-term strength. So they changed the entire construction schedule. Instead of pouring during the heat of the day, much of the work was done at night. Cooler temperatures allowed for better control, ensuring the material maintained its integrity. At one point, they were pumping concrete to heights exceeding 600 meters, breaking all previous records. The pressure, the temperature, the curing process, everything had to be controlled with absolute precision. And then there was the question of dismantling the cranes. These massive machines had climbed hundreds of meters alongside the tower. Taking them down wasn't as simple as lowering them. Engineers had to carefully remove the top sections first, piece by piece, while the remaining structure climbed down using hydraulic self-lifting systems built into the tower. Every movement was precisely calculated. Even a small mistake could swing the crane arm dangerously. At extreme heights, wind could twist the machinery, temperatures affected the hydraulics, and every single bolt mattered. Slowly, methodically, the cranes descended, almost like a delicate dance against gravity. But then something unexpected happened. The financial crisis of 2008 hit. Suddenly, the entire project was at risk. Funding became uncertain. Real estate markets collapsed. For a moment, it looked like the tallest building in the world might never be completed, standing as a hollow skeleton in the desert. But Abu Dhabi stepped in with financial support, stabilizing the project and allowing construction to continue. In a symbolic move, the tower was renamed from Burj Dubai to Burj Khalifa. This shift reflected not just financial backing, but the scale of regional ambition behind the project. By this point, the building was already doing something unprecedented. It was redefining how infrastructure, engineering, and urban vision could intersect. Because this wasn't just a building, it was a vertical city. Inside, the Burj Khalifa contains residential units, offices, hotels, and observation decks, entire ecosystems stacked on top of each other. Managing that kind of complexity required systems that most buildings never need to consider. Water, for example. Supplying water to hundreds of meters above ground isn't simple. It requires advanced pumping systems, complex pressure management, and massive backup solutions to ensure reliability. Then there's temperature control. At the top of the tower, temperatures can be significantly cooler than at ground level. Air pressure changes. Wind speeds increase. Every system from elevators to ventilation had to be adapted to function across these extreme variations. And the elevators themselves? They are among the fastest in the world, designed to move people efficiently through a structure that stretches nearly a kilometer into the sky. But even with all of this technology, one question remained. Was it worth it? Building something like this isn't just about engineering. It's about cost, risk, and long-term value. For many critics, the Burj Khalifa represented excess, a symbol of ambition taken too far. But then the tower became more than just a building. It became a global icon. Tourists from around the world began visiting Dubai just to see it. The skyline transformed. Investment increased. The city's identity shifted from a regional hub to a global destination, and the Burj Khalifa was at the center of it all. What's even more fascinating is what happens after the construction ends. A building like this doesn't just exist, it evolves. Every year, it becomes the stage for massive events. Fireworks explode across its entire height during New Year's celebrations, turning the tower into a vertical display seen across the city. Light shows transform it into a digital canvas, shifting colors, patterns, and stories in seconds. Luxury events take place inside, while massive gatherings redefine how architecture can host culture. During festive seasons, the surrounding area becomes a spectacle of lights and design. At one point, world-renowned DJ David Guetta even performed on the Burj Khalifa, turning the tower itself into a global stage for millions of viewers. Behind all of this beauty is something most people never notice: maintenance. Keeping a structure like this operational is almost as complex as building it. The exterior glass alone requires constant cleaning, involving specialized systems that move along the facade. Internal systems must run 24/7, monitored and adjusted continuously. This isn't a static achievement. It's a living system. The Burj Khalifa proved that with precision, risk, and vision, realities can be reshaped. It showed that architecture can transcend function to become a global identity. The construction itself required coordination on a scale rarely seen before, thousands of workers and specialists operating as one. Logistics became its own engineering challenge. Materials had to arrive on time, under extreme environmental conditions. And despite all of this, it worked. The tower opened to the world, and what once seemed like an impossible risk became a defining success. If something this extreme could be built in a place that once had nothing, then the real limitation was never the environment. It was imagination. And right now, new projects are already pushing beyond this. Taller, more complex, even more ambitious. And when they finally appear, this will no longer feel impossible. It will feel like the beginning.